You're watching 2 News at 4:30.
The Reindeer Lodge, as you know it, is a thing of the past. So what comes next for the Mount Rose Highway property? That tops 2 News at 4:30. The Reindeer Lodge has become a bit of a landmark in our area and a well-known site for anyone who drives up or down Mount Rose Highway. Unfortunately, a little bit of an eyesore of late. I'm Ariana Bennett.
And I'm Kristen Remington. Yeah, you can't miss it. But there is quite a bit of damage to the building, which we first showed you last year. We want to show you once again, just to remind you, most notably when the roof collapsed. We'll bring you the video later. The roof collapsed because of all the heavy snow back in 2017. Since then, many people have questioned, well, what will happen to this place? Here you go. Take a look here. This place has so much history, but what now? Obviously, no one can even go in safely. That winter really wreaked havoc on this property. So we sent Ryan Canada up to take a closer look.
We mainly dealt with getting undamaged things out of the building.
Back in May of 2018, our very own Chris Buckley walked the property of the Reindeer Lodge with longtime owner Gary Schmidt. At the time, Schmidt said his plans were to preserve as much of the lodge as he could before he sells it. Now fast forward to this month, where an excavator sits amongst some of the rubble of the lodge, and clearly some things have changed. As you walk around the property, you can't help but notice the history and artifacts at the lodge where bands used to play and people used to gather for special events. But the present is just as evident as the past. Fences and signs surround the land, reminding the nearby traffic to keep out because this is private property. Gary Schmidt couldn't meet us today, but he did speak to me over the phone. Despite it not being on the market, he says there's still a $3.25 million price tag on these 4 parcels of land that sit on 4 acres next to Mount Rose Highway. As you can see right here behind me, portions of the Reindeer Lodge are already being taken down, but Schmidt isn't calling this a demolition. He tells me it's more of a removal and a remodel. Schmidt says portions of the building will remain intact while other parts will need a rebuild. He'd like to see the lodge become a microbrewery or a business that supports mountain activities like snowboarding or hiking. If neither of those come true, he's hopeful it will become a new lodge that can create a history of its own. Covering the story at the Reindeer Lodge, Ryan Canada, 2 News.
Well, there was no demolition work today, but Schmidt says it should resume at the end of the month and then continue throughout summer.